Good morning and happy birthday, America. I'm glad you dropped by for breakfast this morning. We went out, so if you were here in the kitchen, you couldn't find coffee here because we went to Hutto Hippo Cafe. And very, very quiet boy that I could hardly hear took our order. Was it just me, Leah?
He was nice though.
He was super nice, but it was like giving an order to a whisper factory in a very noisy cafe. Hard on an old guy's ears, that's all I'm saying. So Leah and I, listen, nowadays, if you're going to do a simple project, including gutters, you know it's a minimum of every hardware store in the city, 2 trips. And not our fault. So they didn't have the right color screws at all. So Leah's manually making this right. I bought this, right? Oh, look, you can make it a little brown when you're done. So I bought this from Lincoln Electric. Now, let me tell you right off the reel, everybody, take a look at this in the packaging and tell me what color that is. Quick, look. Wrong. It's not black. It's white. It's the color of the lid. I bought the wrong color. They had white screws. They didn't have any brown screws. So let's go out and take a look. What else were we? Oh, the seams. Lowe's was all out of, they had all of the other stuff that Home Depot didn't. But Home Depot had the seams and Lowe's didn't. So we had to go to, and I bought them all. So if somebody in America needs seams, I'll sell these for $100 a piece.
Oh, you're just kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. I want to make some money.
No.
Did you see sriracha sauces going for $110 a bottle?
On Amazon.
Come on. I live in a world where sriracha, and then because of the design, I decided a couple of those. What else? Let's go out and take a look here. I'm going to be hitting this on pause throughout the day, doing edits that way. So now, I'm going to put this together. I'm happy with the design there. I'm going to turn the corner here so that a person can step off there and go a little ways and catch the water there. So a person could sit here and maybe not get wet with rainwater splashing on them during a storm. The sun already, it is like 9. We got up early today and got up, and man, the sun has already kicked butt. All right, pause. All right, so I'm assembling as much of it on the ground as I can. I went through and I marked where the supports are for the soffit, so I know where to screw it. I've went and bought all the little stuff. I'm going to leave a toolkit here. I took all my tools with me when I started on the ranch, and then I've been replacing them as we go. All right, so there's my little city spot. Leah's inside making us lemonade because she's a good assistant. Looky, everybody. Pretty happy with that. That'll keep the rain away. Hardly even notice it. I'll wrap it around a little bit. Boop. I need a 14-inch piece, and then whatever's left over will run to there, and I'll capture the rain on this corner, pipe it down, either into there, probably that way. I guess about an hour for a little section of gutter, but a good deal of that time was just setting up and thinking. About an hour. I think we're out there. An hour. We're not done yet, but I only have one little turn left. Somebody measured the measurements wrong, Leah.
Needed your glasses.
Oh. Well, it's getting pretty hot, and it's getting mid-afternoon, so I want to do both gutters, but life being what it is, rotate. I wasn't able. Rotate. All right, there's a little gutter up here. So now when the rain comes, it won't splash. Leah was saying it was splashing dirt up on the house.
It would be all muddy right here.
Mud on the rain, yeah.
It just
Now, it kind of downpour, it can still overshoot this corner.
But it will.
They have corner deflectors that I could put up that would deflect, but I'm going to see how this works.
You could even get a bucket.
Well, no, if if it overshoots, and it's because it's where it comes into a valley, so all the water is forced down to that. Anyway, I bought the deflector for this, but I don't want to put it up unless you need it.
Yeah, I know.
And then we tested it, and some of the seams are leaking, so I'll come back through. Even though I had used the seam sealer on it, on both sides, it still caused a bit of a problem. But it's level and it drains, and it was coming out there like it was supposed to. All right, this is Steve, 1,000-year house at the cottage, city house, which is the comparative. I get a city cottage. Comparative. This house is 1 year old too.
1 year old, the 29th.
Happy. It's a July birthday too.
Well, June 29th is when we signed.
Well, that's a good karma right there.
Yeah.
That's close enough. All right, happy birthday, house. That's fun. All right, I gave Mr. Hank icy water. How do you think, buddy? Bet you that's something a Texas horse has never had. Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down, hoof up, hoof down. It's definitely based on this resultant. It's definitely a new everything for him. Let's see. Doing all right? Well, it's 4th of July weekend, and I think even old Mr. Hank deserved a little celebration there, so icy water. Next time, maybe I'll put oats in it for him. But listen, I have a serious Hank discussion. Serious Hank discussion, and he takes no responsibility for this. All right, rotate. All right, well, last night in the dark, Hank was standing exactly where I put him, in the spot I put him, but I couldn't drive through, so I was backing around and I broke out my taillight. Now, a responsible person would take the responsibility of that damage, and I personally think that it's old Hank's fault. Old Hank, you broke my light. So I've been lecturing him today on how to help me back up or physically get behind the wheel and take the wheel. So anyway, YouTube, internet, this is, you know, if I buy the whole lens assembly, it's going to be $340. But look, I found just the glass, and that's all that broke out. The old mesquite trees. And look, I even have collision avoidance. And the collision avoidance sounded and braked after I made contact. You know, but those mesquite tree, the branches do that. So the trunk was way far away, but the branch that did that, not so far away. I'm still, you know, all right. Internet, comment below if you think old Hank was responsible for me backing up my own truck into a tree in the middle of the dark, because I was just trying to get around him. I didn't want to honk or make a move. I was keeping him comfortable. And even after I hit the tree and broke a taillight, he hardly moved a muscle. He just looked. He didn't, you know, he didn't laugh or anything, mock me. But I didn't feel like he was emotionally invested in me as a person and the loss of this taillight. So, and I've been feeding him 3 squares a day. So anyway, I've been talking with him. And today I've been training him how to go, whoa, when I'm getting too close to a tree. He just, it's very hard, very slow training. Very slow training. All right, well, that's my mission for tonight. Weekend. Replace my broken taillight. My gosh, it makes my truck look just a mess. You know what the moral of the story is? Moral of the story of a broken taillight is probably human beings shouldn't blame horses for standing in the way when that's exactly where they put them. And I'm not mature enough to, you know, accept that. The moral of the story is I bought skid plates for underneath that truck in order to protect the catalytic converter and the transmission and everything from, you know, as I'm going up and down and scraping it on logs. And it's a felt. There's felt underneath that. There's felt underneath that truck for a splash plate over the transmission and the hybrid electronics. What in the world? What in the world? So I spent money on a truck, and this is the way it goes. As soon as you spend money on a vehicle, you'll have to start spending more. And the same thing with pets. If a dog breaks a leg and you fix that leg, next week he's going to break a hip. You're going to just spend more and more money. And there's a trade-off, right? Now, this truck, it's a farm truck. So a broken taillight, I'll have it fixed here. And as soon as Amazon sends me the lens. So maybe I'll even have Hank fixed by then. But when I put those skid plates in there, I'm waiting for one more piece. I've got the front skid plate, the transmission skid plate, and then, you know, it's hybrid. So The hybrid electronics is over the catalytic converter. I'm not worried about the cattle stealing catalytic converters. I'm worried about the catalytic converter burning down Texas. So ongoing concern for me. So I want a steel skid plate underneath there. And I bought black because that will be beautiful. And a tonneau cover. I broke down, bought a tonneau. Well, you know, I hit that big $5,000 lottery thing, split halfway. So after taxes, it's like $800 for me. So I got $800 mad dollars burning a hole in my pocket. Well, I've already spent it. The skid plates were like $900. All right, like, subscribe, follow me along. This is Steve, 1,000 Year Home. And I appreciate your company. Bye.